Hello and welcome, students. Let's talk about the last episode of Serial, episode 5, which addresses the viability of the schedule that Jay presented at trial. But before, let's recap. Can anyone tell me what we know so far? You, Gabriel. On this season, Sarah Koenig is investigating the case of Adnan Said, who was convicted of the murder of Heyman Lee, his ex-girlfriend. There was little to no physical evidence, and the prosecution's case relied primarily on Jay's testimony. He is known as a shady character who admitted to lying and altering some facts. Adnan claims that it would have been impossible to commit the murder in the time that Jay and the state has alleged to have happened. Sarah has brought upon herself to reenact Adnan's route on the day of the murder. That's absolutely correct, Bianca, but let's remember the rules that Sarah had to follow. The murder happened between 2:15 and 2:36, so she has 21 minutes to complete everything that Jay said Adnan did. So can anyone remember what was the first thing that happened? You, John.
The bell rings and Sarah has to wait 2 minutes, which she thinks is how long Hay would have taken to get to her car. But I think that would take much more time, especially since both of our schools are so big. Waiting for the buses to clear and going to Best Buy took 18 minutes.
That's also right, John. But this means that at Best Buy, they have 3 minutes to kill Hay, put her body in the trunk without people seeing it, and going all the way to the phone booth to call Jay. Do you think that that is possible, John?
It depends on how strong the person is, but it takes longer than a minute and a half to strangle someone. And it is not a very effective way to kill them because they can fight back and leave DNA evidence. And if Adnan planned the murder, wouldn't he pick a better way to kill her? And if he didn't plan the murder, he couldn't have done it so fast.
Yeah, this is true, John, but they finished this part in 22 minutes. Do you think that he could have done it? This is a quote about what Sarah thinks. It does seem far-fetched because there's no room for any errors, any pauses even. The buzzes, the drive, the strangulation, the moving of the body, the call, they all have to have happened as quickly as they possibly can for the 2:36 call to work.
But what if he did have time to do it? It was possible. What if there was no traffic, or if he knew a shortcut? What his prosecutor said made a lot of sense. You might have your doubts about Jay, but the call record doesn't lie. Jay couldn't possibly have known which towers were getting pinged when. He couldn't fabricate that. It would be too crazy of a coincidence.
Yes, but we have to remember that Jay was with the phone the whole day. He says it and Adnan agrees, so he kind of knows which cell towers were pinged and what time he received the calls. He could be telling the truth about where the phone was, but lying about what they were doing or even about where Adnan was. You are both right, guys, but Sarah continues reenacting the rest of the day, and the call log matches many calls, all of which match Jay's story and how Sarah reenacts them. However, the location that the cell towers say that they were in is wrong. Students, what do you think about this quote made by Sarah? So the time works for this one. It matches Jay's story, but here's the problem. It doesn't match the cell tower in the call record. It's pinging a tower back near the Best Buy, west of where we are, and that is true of all these calls from the middle of the afternoon. There are also other problems with Jay's stories that Sarah identifies, such as when they discovered that they have to go to the Patapsco State Park, which is about 20 minutes from where they are. Look at how Sarah explains that this was a risky move for the boys. If I'm a nun and I need to be seen for track, I'm freaking out right now that I need to get back for track to have an alibi. So what's this? Oh, let's just drive halfway across the country to go to a state park to smoke a blunt. Now that we went through the main points of the episode, I want to know, what do you guys think about this case? Is Adnan guilty? Can we trust Jay? How did this episode change the way that you view the characters? I believe that Adnan is guilty because Sarah proved that the murder could have happened in 22 minutes, and Adnan knew the Siri very well. Also, there is the Nisha call, which is important because only Adnan knew her, so Jay was not alone in the afternoon. Another call pings the leaking park tower around the time that Jay says that they were burying the body. Why would Jay make up this story? He was incriminating himself.
I think that Adnan isn't guilty. Sarah did the whole route in 22 minutes, and this is because she knew exactly what was going to happen. I think that it's unlikely that Adnan would have been able to kill her in a minute and a half, because if it was a crime of passion, wouldn't he hesitate?
Also, he's the one that asked Sarah to reenact the route. Look at the quote that he says on the board. If Adnan actually did this, he would know that it was possible, so why would he ask her to do it knowing that it would make him look bad?
Okay, thank you, Bianca. But I would like to know if there is any other student that would like to say something else about the case.
Created using Powtoon.